Hey everybody, just wanted to take a second to tell you about the Manatraders series. Manatraders sponsors our channel. It lets me rent decks so I can play everything I need on MTGO to show you guys decks going on in the format, what's happening in Magic at the moment, and lets me help keep playing there, keep making the content you guys want to see. So if you want to play in the series, it's a once per month Eternal format series on Magic Online. You can sign up for Manatraders using code A22EN. It's code A22EN. You'll get 15% off your entry, or you'll get 15% off your subscription each month, and then you'll get free entry into the Manatraders series where you get to play for a big payout. If you look at the payout here, huge prize pool, $4,000, $2,000, a bunch of credit towards it. Top 8, everyone's getting paid out. Even just in the Swiss, you get paid out for placing, so you don't even have to rely on one tournament where things go good or bad. You can actually get paid out for just playing a bunch during the Swiss. And there's a lot of good players in it, so it's a good place to step up. It's a good place to play against the best in the game right now and get better at playing Magic. So, again, if you want to sign up, use code A22EN at checkout for 15% off.
All right, we're back here for round 6. I think I'm 4-1 currently. Oh, this hand's bad. This is not a good hand. There's some decks I would keep this against, but I think this is a mulligan. This hand's also not good. I do think it's a keep, though, and a pretty easy bottom batter skull. Definitely fetching an island and looking for another land so that I can snap opt and kind of smooth everything out. Hopefully opponent's not playing a super fast deck here. Okay, it doesn't look like they're super fast. In fact, it looks like they could be a blue deck. If that's the case, this is a pretty great hand, actually. It just needs lands, and the opt should help in that regard. Opponent should probably never counter an opt here either. Alright, sadly got a bottom J, so we're looking for lands. Alright, we'll take it. Ooh, another opt is good too. Take that as well. Let's see what they go ahead and fetch. Steam Vent. Interesting. So it could be like Storm. No. Looks like I guess they don't have Spirit Guide, but it's the As Foretold deck maybe, where they reanimate like with Living End. I guess could be like As Foretold Living End. I definitely want a counterspell. I know that much is clear. Don't really need another snap. All right, Path to Exile is pretty bad. Force Negation's good, though. I'll take a Force all day. So it does look like it's just like an As Foretold Living End deck. Got some random weird cyclers. I guess these are just the ones you play, though, in this kind of Living End deck. I'm going to snap opt here. I still have Force Negation up if they go for the red spell that lets them cast these. Stone Forge Mystic I think would generally be good, but I just want to land so bad here. I'm going to bottom. I did bottom, right? Okay. Oh, that is how that works sometimes. Spell Snare's... Yeah, Spell Snare's terrible. I guess if they cast that red spell for 2, it could do something. I'm going to attack here. I'm going to play Stoneforge Mystic because I don't really have a better play, but I'm not super happy about this. Snare could do some work. Maybe. We shall see. Feast and Famine's interesting. I still think Batterskull's better. But Feast and Famine's definitely interesting there. Getting a green. Is this maybe like a Bring the Light Living End or something? Oh, yeah, I just can't stop this at all. I, for some reason, thought Force Negation would work Nope. Yep. Alright, I'm going to pack this in. Mystical Dispute, I guess, can do stuff. Ashiok seems very good. Path does not seem good at all. I kind of want some Skyclave apps, but they're not amazing either. I wonder how good Gust is. I guess we saw green. They probably have, like, Veil of Summer. If that's the case, I probably do want some of these. I definitely want Dispute. I don't think that's close. So, Snare can't have targets, right? If they cascade it into Living End. So I think I can safely board out both Snares. I think this is going to be enough. I'm not sure if I want something else. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in Deicide in case they have As Foretold. I'm not sure. Would you like to play first? Yeah, this hand is better than the last one, although I'm not going to say it's great, but it's still better. I would really like a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic with this hand, so I'm going to opt for it. They have to do this fair now. If they want to cascade, they got to do it on turn 3. No more Spirit Guides. I guess they could like Writ into it, but it doesn't really work. Alright, Ashiok seems really good. Just to make sure that their graveyard's like always empty. And with this hand I can even oh, and Mana Leak's also quite good. Okay. Just gonna play Fortress here. I'd like to be able to Mana Leak something. And then Ashiok with Dispute backup. Although that could go awkwardly. Oh my, we also have a Force Negation. I'm going to play this on blue. I think I definitely just want a ton of blue mana. My hand's all blue pips. I've already got white in case I do draw Stoneforge, but I'm not crazy into it. Alright, Gust is pretty bad. It does pitch to Force Negation, though, so that's good at least. And I don't know what could be an opponent's hand if they're not cycling stuff. It has to just be like all payoffs, right? Like, what else could it even be? I definitely think I Mana Leak here. And then when they Veil of Summer, I Gust it. And then I untap and cast Ashiok with Mystical Dispute up. And then they're welcome to resolve any of these things. They have Mystical Dispute? Wish I could use Gust. I guess I'm just Force of Negationing and saving the Dispute in case they have Force of Negation for Ashiok. Because once this happens, like, it just doesn't really matter what they have. Like, I'm going to win. Still not fetching, though. Ooh, another Force is actually, like, quite good. I do think I can get a Plains here. I can already cast all my stuff, so it's probably fine. This is definitely the type of deck that would play Force Negation, and we did, in fact, sequence perfectly. They could have another Force Negation. Okay. I think this is all fine. I can't fight back anymore, so that's going to happen, but I have Force Negation if their last card is exactly a Cascade spell. They've just pitched 2 of them, though. I think I would let... It is a Cascade spell. It's so annoying. Let's see what they hit. It reveals Living End. It's literally just 1/5/5. It's not the end of the world. It is a hexproof 5/5 though, which is annoying. Honestly, I think this is fine. I just let this happen and jam Jace next turn. Really annoying if they drew a counterspell for turn. Okay. They didn't. I do get to draw 3 cards here. So Batterskull's still going to beat this. None of these really do, though. I think I put Snap and Cryptic on top. They're going to kill Jace. That's happening. There's no way you don't kill Jace here if you're them. But I got a pretty good brainstorm. I hope I drew Snap. I drew Cryptic. Ugh, alright. It's alright. It's alright. Would have much rather Snap opted this turn. But I'm not in a huge rush here. I honestly probably do just play Ashiok next turn and get a minus off. No, I'm still going to Snap Opt. I think that's better. See if they cast anything. They probably won't. Snap Opt. I'm just looking for Stoneforge. I just need to get a Batterskull, and it beats this. And I'm way ahead on resources, so I think that's good. They've also used a lot of Force Negations. I think this is fine, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. Just gives me more looks at Stoneforge, which is what I'm looking for here, for the record. Teferi's also not, like, terrible. Alright. I can see a Teferi. Ooh, Castle Ardenvale is also, like, a kind of decent out to this. I think I want to jam Teferi here. Okay, Teferi resolves. That's good for me. I got a blocker to keep it protected. If they can kill my Snap, this goes kind of awkwardly, but, like, how much stuff do they have in their deck? They've already shown a ton of counter spells. They have to have some amount of cyclers. They have cascade spells. They have lands. They can't be playing removal spells, especially not post-board against a blue-white deck. I will block. This now makes Living End like actively bad for them. They can't use it here because it just kills their thing and brings me a snap. And I do think I'm just going to Castle Ardenvale and block. Like, I'm just not that scared of many of the things they could resolve here. If they cast something pre-combat, I might counter tap. But yeah, they're not going to. This is fine. Ardenvale looking good. What? Oh, cycling. I was going to say, you can't cast spells. I have a Teferi in play. You're not stopping this. All right, so land is great here. Queller's not terrible. In fact, Queller's like pretty good, right? Because this turn they can kill Ashik if they want, but Teferi's staying, and then I have a Queller. I did just leave myself dead, so I might have to, now that I'm thinking about it, I do have to chump because I did crack that thing, so that's bad. I will be able to chump, though, because I have a Teferi, so that's good. What do we hit? Street Wraith, Desert Ceradon. So they have a bunch of cyclers. I mean, this is just Living End. That's what's happening here. I guess if they attack Ashiok, I'm not going to chump with Queller, but if they attack me, which makes sense because it would kill me, I am going to block with Queller. And like hard casting some big guy doesn't really matter. I just bounce it with Teferi. Mill again with Ashiok. It's fine. Ooh, Snap is good. Alright. Mill you. Return. Ooh, so now I get to Snap, Opt, and have Cryptic up, which is strong. Right, so they're going to attack me. It's going to get exalted. This might seem a little convoluted, but I think this is a good play. I'm going to target Opt. I'm going to cast Opt. Don't need another land. Force Negation's fine. I'm going to go to blocks, declare a block, say okay. And then I'm going to bounce my Snapcaster and draw a card. Looks like they really want this Curator of Mysteries. I get it. Not really about it, but I do get it. Ooh, Jace is good too. Alright, let's mill them. Let's bounce again with Tef. Another Tef here is like kind of good. This turn though, I think I'm going to mana leak the thing they put in their yard and just make an Ardenvale token and chump. I have Force Negation in case they do any sort of shenanigans. Any shenaniganery. Ardenvale just looking unbelievable this game, for the record. I assume we're going to curate some mysteries again. Mana leak. All right. I'm going to tick down Ashok. Plus to Fairy. I'm going to play the land. I think this turn I'm going to cast Snapcaster. The modes are going to be tap your team, return Ashiok to my hand, I believe. Return target permanent, tap all creatures. I want Ashiok back. It does let them fetch, which maybe that matters, but the more important thing is, like, this is my clock. Like, as long as I just keep protecting Ashiok, they can't do anything. They definitely have some number of living end in their hand or deck, too, because we've only seen one. A Glastus Hulk. Okay. And there's the Batter Skull. That is probably the only thing I need to win. Still like the idea of just... You know what? I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to play the Batter Skull so that I can't die. And a second to Fairy and bounce the Glastus Hulk, because this does get unblockable. I think it's just the safest play. And I do have Chump with Germ available this turn. I've got Force Negation up in case they have something random. But I have Chump with Germ and then Equip to Snapcaster, and I can finally trade with the Striped Riverwinder. I'll be at not lethal now when I Chump with the Germ, so... It looks like they're cycling, looking for something. What? I don't know. Guess we're going to find out. I guess if there's like a creature here that says I can't block, then maybe I would die. They need to beat me through a Force Negation and a Teferi in play, which is pretty unlikely. I don't know what Violent Outbreak... Okay. Yeah. I think the writing was on the wall there, finally. So I still think Path is going to be just actually awful. Snare never hitting targets. Aether Gust looks mostly bad. There's like a chance I'd rather have something. Like an On Thin Ice over the Gust. The Gust seemed really bad. Not that they couldn't have like Veil of Summer. It seems like that's a card that they could have. I guess I'll leave the Gust because of that. Also, some of their things are red, like Desert Ceradon or whatever. It was in their deck. That like maybe they just living in for one of those, and I can put that back on top of their library or something. I don't know. Weird matchup. Sweet deck from the opponent, but just odd. This hand is close. On the draw. I guess I just need a blue source and Ashiok's good. I'm going to keep. This is certainly awkward, but I'm going to keep. Drew another white source. Beautiful. I was just thinking to myself, you know what would be great here? A white source. Well, only one more white source, or like mono white source left in my whole deck, so that's good. Yeah, this one's going to be rough. When they Violent Outburst on turn 3 this time, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. The 2 Street Wraiths just makes it so rough. Well, we're pretty close to casting that Cryptic. Huh. Like, what world do I not just lose if I pass? I'm just so dead. You know I'm supposed to mulligan this hand. It's so awkward. I don't even have, like, good counterspells. Gus was already dead, and I had the Batterskull in hand. This was certainly a mulligan. I think I threw. I mean, it's not helped by the fact that I drew garbage. I was thinking the Ashiok was worth it. If I draw blue, maybe it's worth it. But it's just never resolving. They have Force Negation. They're so Mystical Dispute. It's going to be really hard for me to get this in play. I think I'm supposed to bluff that I have a counterspell. I absolutely don't. But I think I'm supposed to bluff it all the same. Problem is, waiting here is just so bad. But, like, if I... No, I was supposed to bluff I had Mystical Dispute, or Force Negation. This is just bad. I was supposed to say that I had, like, a Force Negation and just tap out here and just dare them to go for it again. I think. Oh, well. Yep. I kept a hand that didn't do anything, and I got mega punished for it. That makes sense. Alright, here for round 3. Opponent says hello. Hello back, MKC. Pleasure to play you. I think this hand's a keep. It's not great. I'm on the draw. But I have all my expensive cards, so I can't draw expensive cards. So I'm just going to draw... Oh my god, it's burn. Famous last words. I already have all the expensive cards. Wait, never mind. We still had one. That feeling when you couldn't draw a worse card, but then somehow you still do. I did put a Timely in my sideboard, though, so... Post-board will get them. Hopefully, if we're going to attacks here, that means there's an Eidolon coming post-combat. Because then I'll actually be able to use my Spell Slinger to do anything, which would be great. Oh, yes, we get to use the Spell Slinger to do anything. Alright, now we're looking for like a kill spell. Or Stoneforge Mystic. That's not bad. That one plays. Is it amazing? No. Is my Stoneforge Mystic going to die? Yes. Would I like any of these cards to be forced negation instead of any of the cards that they actually are? Also, yes. But here we are. If they don't have a land drop here, though, I kind of like my spot. I mean, certainly I don't love it, but it's an okay spot, I guess. Using a Helix is like a lot better than getting Searing Blaze, that's for sure. Nope, they got a land, but they only have 3 cards in hand. I'm at 17. Maybe we're in an okay spot. There's that Force Negation. Right on time. Beautiful. The Force Negation is going to be good, though. I will say that. But, yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup. We just let the Swift Spear stay in play way too long. Except it does look like they're kind of flooding. That's good for me, at least. Yeah, Eidolon's pretty annoying. I can't really do anything about it. I mean, I can bounce it with Jace, I guess. I'm definitely going to take 1 here because the payoff for drawing a land off this shark is just so high. Land deck, please. Please. Land. Never. Okay, I'm playing Stoneforge Mystic. I kept a 3-land hand, too. That's actually really annoying. I haven't drawn a land in the game. And I've, like, cycled. But this is okay. We're okay still. We're not in a great spot, but I have Force Negation to protect my Stoneforge, and I get to put a Batter Skull into play next turn. I have a chump blocker for this turn. It could go poorly for me. Certainly. But with only 3 spells, I feel like I'm in decent shape. Hardcast Riftbolt. I will instantly Force of Negation that. And blocking here so that I don't die to 2 spells. Opponent likes my deck. That's awesome. Thank you. Just never, just not once has it ever been... See, this is as awkward as it could possibly be. I've already pitched to Jace. I had 2 Cryptics left. I think maybe I put the other Shark Typhoon in. I don't know. Can't draw a land. I guess I don't really have great draws, if I'm being fair. Land would be good, but... Do they attack here? You can't attack, right? They're attacking? So, what is it? Just has to be Skullcrack, right? Skullcrack plus another burn spell? Oh, Cryptic would have been amazing here. Alright, I'm going to get blown out. Do me dirty, MKC. Do me dirty, friend. Oh, just Boros Charm? Okay. Is the other one Skullcrack? Just here I still had all of the things situation. Yep, why not? I think I was in good shape the turn where I was going to jam Jace if I had hit. Obviously I didn't, so it didn't play out very well. But I still feel like I was in good shape up till that point. Still, my sideboard is quite good. Typhoons seem miserable, so do Jace's. Snare is actually good. All of this is good. Feast and Famine is probably just very bad. It's probably worse than Fire Ice, although Fire Ice isn't good either necessarily. Teferi's like okay at best, but not amazing. I want to cut some Cryptics. I guess Teferi's better than Cryptic. Nah. Cryptic gives me an out. I'll just cut the Teferi's. Maybe, like, Teferi's better than Queller. I like Queller, though. I like having the counter spells. It just shuts them down a little bit. Hopefully we have a timely. We get to use a timely. Put it in the sideboard just for this matchup. Alright, we get to play first this time. We have a Stoneforge and a Force Negation. I think that makes it a keep by itself. Opponent's also on 6. For what it's worth. Alright. Going to opt once I see what they do. Their turn probably just includes casting a creature. But if it's like a guide, then... I don't really want Queller. I'm looking for lands. Path is fine. It's still rather have a land. Okay, that's perfect. I think I want to wait to play the Stoneforge Mystic until they tap out. And Burn will at some point tap out. It's just better, like, because if they bolt it there, it's just really awkward for me. I'm not, like, super close to casting it. And yeah, and this just goes so much better because I can Mana Leak Eidolon, untap, play Stoneforge Mystic with Force up. I even have a path if I need it. Yeah, I'm going to play Stoneforge here. I think you could have made an argument that I was supposed to just let that resolve and path it last turn instead. And then this turn I could have just passed with Force up and Mana Leak. And then try not to use Mana Leak in next turn. Mana Leak. But given that I drew the land, this actually works out because if they do go to kill the Stoneforge here, I can just path in response. And then hardcast a Battered Skull and have Force up to protect it. Which is pretty fine. If they don't kill the Stoneforge, I'm going to put them on Smash to Smithereens again. Okay, that's all fine. Pains me to get rid of this Cryptic, but I think this is right. Maybe I was supposed to path there. Unsure. This does give me some good draws. Kind of wish I'd passed. Alright, I can wait. Let's see what they do. I was maybe supposed to play the Floodstrain there too, now that I think about it. Let's see what they do, though. If they just pass and don't do anything... I'm probably not going to put the Battered Skull in because I can just do it next turn and be protected from Smash. If they just cast 3 burn spells, though. Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to keep waiting. Snap is a good draw. Second Boros Charm, yikes. Can they draw a third Boros Charm here? Feels like maybe they have a Smash. I'm certainly not going to fetch. I'm just going to untap. Okay. That worked out. Now I have Snap Mana Leak up if I need it, or Snap Force Negation even. Usually one hit of this guy fixes all the woes. Yeah, that's fine. That is totally fine. You can just keep waiting. Alright, well, that was all we needed to do, I guess. Do I want to change anything up? Skyclave Apparition seems pretty bad to me. Like, it doesn't really kill their guy. They just kill it and then they still have another guy. And it's not like their guys are particularly good. I guess Swiss Spear's okay. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I don't think it's good. I don't really want to change anything. I think I'm mostly happy with this. Just kind of hoping for a good hand here. I could see cutting the Sword of Fire and Ice. I don't think it's, like, great for a Cryptic or Teferi's. Teferi's, like, fine. It's not amazing. It is fine. I think on the draw this is a keep, but this hand is super bad. I do have an opt. I have all my mana. I've got a ton of removal spells, so like they have to kill me with just damage and not creatures. Really hoping I draw a land on turn 1, honestly. They do start the game on 6 cards, though. That's good for me. Did draw a land on turn 1. That is amazing. Alright, so I was supposed to just fetch a Plains and on thin ice there, I think. I think I screwed that up. It's okay. Pathing here is not the end of the world. It was definitely a mistake. Well, this is the kind of hand... This hand from them is the kind of hand my hand wants to play against, so I'll take it. It'd be amazing if this was another creature. It's not. That's fine. I'm going to 15, but I guess I'm going to 13. But they only have 2 cards in hand after this, and they won't have any creatures in play, so that's good. I guess I go to 12. I go to 11. But against 2 cards, that should be good. I am going to need... Was I supposed to get a blue source that turn? I think there's definitely an argument for it. Halo Fountain's okay, I guess. I'll top it. I do get up to triple blue now. Puts me at risk of... Yeah, I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's okay. Boros Charm me. Okay. Oh my gosh, I drew Stoneforge Mystic. So how do I want to do this? I think I'm supposed to wait one more turn. I'm just going to play a Hallowed Fountain tapped and set up to go Stoneforge with Mana Leak next turn. If they have a Boros Charm, I will Mana Leak it, because it's like the only thing that kills me here. Ooh, second SFM is quite good as well. I'm also going to Mana Leak like Searing Blaze. There's a lot of stuff I leak here. I don't leak like a Bolt on this. That's where I'm at. I am going to need him to miss on one more draw step, though. No, they just don't have anything. All right, fair enough. We'll take it. Stoneforge Mystic beating burn decks like it has since 2010 or something. Been a while. Alright. Looks like I've lost the die roll in... I think this is the 8th match. Yeah, I think it's the 8th match. I've got 3 matches left for the first, for the initial 10 they need you to play. I'm going to keep this hand. I have to win 2 of them to qualify. I'm currently 5-2. Mishra's Bobble, okay. Doesn't really give away what it is. I was going to say it's probably a Luris deck, but they don't have a Luris, so... Shadow, then. Okay. Well, my hand's awkward against Shadow, but... It's okay. This should be a good matchup overall for me. Snapcaster's not amazing. Teferi is very good against Shadow, though. So hopefully this is just like Grixis Shadow and they just like tap out for a Gurmag on turn 3 and I get to Teferi them. That would be sweet. I do think I'm supposed to force a negation pitching a Snapcaster if they Thoughtseize, just to keep their life total higher for the moment. Beautiful, that actually worked. I'm just going to play the Snow-Covered Island. I could fetch the Thin. I don't think that's relevant. It feels like opponent could have a stub here. Based on how they played. Feels like it's pretty likely they have a stub, actually. This feels like a Gurmag with 2 mana up. That's what it feels like to me. It was, in fact, that thing. Still, we're like 1 Path to Exile away from winning. Alright, not Path to Exile, but I'll take it. Question is, do I want to play Hengegate or Fetch? I don't think the Fetch matters all that much. I think it's small, but I'd rather thin. I'm going to get an island here and cast a fairy. It's going to get stubbed. I'm going to be sad about it, but it's okay. Or Drawn in the Lock. I guess it really mattered that I should have played Hengegate. That's actually kind of a spew on my part. Alright. Well, now I know. Well, if they didn't have stub... I was going to say, if they didn't have stub, I'm kind of in a good spot. But no, I'm not really in a great spot. Wow, so like mega punished for Prismatic Vista instead of Hengegate. That's a little thing, but that's good to know for the future that it matters a ton about putting cards in your own graveyard. Maybe Hengegate's just better for that reason. I think when I have snow stuff, it's not, but... Path to Exile. That's not a Path to Exile, but that's a pretty good draw. Do I want to Field of Ruin them? No. I think I'd rather have a pro-black thing. So, yeah. I'm just going to play this on white. Play Stoneforge Mystic. I do think I get Batterskull here. And the reason is I can just hardcast a Batterskull next turn if need be. They kind of need to kill this Stoneforge Mystic or I get to put it in play. I mean, it is Shadow. They probably have 10 kill spells. It's not like it's going to be super hard for them to kill it. But also, I thought about getting the Sword because like a lot of their stuff is black, so pro-black is relevant, especially some of the removal spells. But that's weak to Snapcaster Inquisition. right now, and what I've done so far is not. So I think that's fine. We'll see. Opponent only has 3 cards. They certainly have combinations of cards in their deck that would just destroy me. Shadow's one of them that's pretty scary. Alright, I don't think I TBR, or I just flash and... Oh, I was going to say, I don't think I flash and snap because the upside of just drawing a Path to Exile is so huge. Alright. Let's see how this turn goes. Thoughtseize. God, I wish this was a white source. That resolved? Okay. Huh. Do I give up the Batter Skull here? And just snap Path? That could win the game. They're at 6. It's a 2-turn clock. The Batter Skull's like not necessary. Alright. I'm still in kind of a bad spot to stub, but they haven't shown it yet. And if they just have removal spells, this goes pretty good for me. Okay, Fatal Push is fine. I'm losing my Batter Skull. But they only have 1 card in hand. I've got the creature. They're at 6. Still a 3-turn clock. If this is like another Gurmag or a Shadow, I could be in a lot of trouble. But as it stands now, I don't hate my spot. It is another Gurmag. Okay, well, I have good draws. Like Teferi is a great draw. Another Path is a good draw. Shark Typhoon's a pretty good draw. Definitely a pretty good draw. I can actually trade here, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if I'm supposed to trade. It's probably okay. I get blown out by Battle Rage, but I doubt a Battle Rage like every time anyway. I think I'm just going to block and see what they do. That gives me the most options here. They drew a Shadow? Come on. Can we not? I guess I'm glad I didn't trade. So hitting any way to deal with Shadow here wins the game. Basically, they have to top deck like Battle Rage or Bolt. Exactly, one of those 2 cards. We drew land and land. I don't really think there's a way I live. I guess I hit their Blood Crypt. Hope I draw like Teferi. Teferi's probably my only out going for like next turn. They have to draw nothing. They have to draw another land. I have to chump. And then I guess Cryptic Tap is kind of an out, provided they don't draw a stub. I'm just dead to like so much. Alright, so Cryptic's out and Teferi's an out. Those are basically it. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. Not a good chance, but a chance. Still dead to stub. I guess that means I'm supposed to upkeep it. Tap all creatures, draw a card. Must be nice. we get to parody and like where I have card advantage and they don't, and their draw step is creature, Street Wraith into stub. Okay, I guess that's fair. I like On Thin Ice. I like Purge. Skyclave's like decent, not amazing. It's decent. These seem quite bad. Queller's fine. I guess it kind of gets around stub. It's mostly bad though. I don't like Force Negation really at all. I think that's how I'm going to board. I can see Timely, but I don't think it's right. I think the real thing is I just get 3 extra ways to take care of any of their creatures, and that's all I really need. I guess 5 extra ways. And that's all I'm really looking for to begin with, is just get the giant creatures off the board, because the rest of their deck just doesn't beat me generally. Would love to have a second Purge in the board right here. I guess maybe that's something to consider. Snare is pretty bad against him. I could actually board out a Stare for a Mystical Dispute. That might actually be right. It counters like exactly TBR and Snapcaster Mage. And they probably don't have a ton of those post-board against me. I think this is a keep. It's certainly a sketchy hand, but I do think it's a keep. I get to opt looking for a land, and if this hand hits a land, it's pretty good. Additionally, I do think I'm supposed to just get a Snow-Covered Island here because I have On Thin Ice in my deck. Hallowed Fountain does make some sense because of Skyclave Apparition. Maybe that's better. Maybe I still just get Hallowed Fountain. I'm not sure, honestly. Targeting me. All right. I'm going to err on getting Island just because it saves me life. I'm going to opt. I would like to find another land. And immediately the On Thin Ice. That's not bad. I do think I top it. I think it's pretty likely this is what gets Inquisition, but I think that's fine. Really hope they take the Snare. Although if they take the Snare, it's probably not good for me. It probably means they have a really good 2 in their hand or something. They did take Teferi. Okay, Teferi also makes sense. I don't hate taking Teferi there. Ooh, we drew land. Land is very good. I don't think I really need to explain why it's very good, but it is very good here. So hopefully they cast a 2-drop right into the Spell Snare they know about. I think opponent might be too smart for that, but that would be sweet. Ooh. Can Field of Ruin here? Yeah, I like this. This actually works out really nice because I can still cast everything, and if they don't do anything this turn, I can just hit their Watery Grave or their Blood Crypt or whatever they fetch and start making future paths better. It also lets me get an island here, so I have Cryptic and Skyclave app mana. Oh, they drew a basic too. That's phenomenal. Take that all day. A Braid. That's good to know about. Looks like we've got a Gurmag with a stub up if I've ever seen one. Which actually makes me not want to crack Field of Ruin here, honestly. Because it can let them, like, kill my Spell Queller. It is better for my mana to do it. But if they have a Dismember in their hand, which they're somewhat likely to have, then I don't win this counter war. Alright, I'll wait. Just draw a Path to Exile too, that's not bad. Yeah, we knew the stub was coming. That's fine. I would like one stubby D, please. And your angler. Beautiful. So unfortunately, we're mostly out of gas here. Well, it doesn't look like opponents got all that much going on. Yeah, it looks like they have nothing going on. Wow, Snowform Mystic was a really good draw. I don't think I'm going to have a better play this turn, so I'm just going to hit their red source. They have to go get a Swamp. I'm going to just cast Stoneforge Mystic. They don't have a threat in play, so I'm not like worried about dying next turn. They might have a good turn, but my hand's still pretty good. Definitely need to get Island here so I can cast this Cryptic. And then just play a Stoneforge Mystic. And their Braid's already gone. They probably also have like Kolaghan's Command. I think I like the idea of Feast and Famine here over Batterskull, honestly. It just plays around all their removal. And they might even like kill the Spellqueller here or something. I guess no, they probably wouldn't. I am putting them in a spot where they can't like tap out. Like they need... You need to like get rid of one of these before you tap out. Otherwise, you're just in a ton of trouble. And if I draw land, I'm in insane shape. Especially if they play a threat with like Stub up or something. What is this? Oh, Brutality. That ends up being good here. Wish I had my Snare up, I guess. Oh man, so I can completely cut them off red and then play Sword of Feast and Famine. That does play into Stub. I can also just turn off Stub and then play it, which is reasonable. I think completely cutting them off red is going to be better though, honestly. Then when the Feast and Famine gets into play, they can never kill it. And I think blue is fine here. I do kind of wonder at what point they kill my guy. I don't know. I think they have one red source left in their entire deck. There it is. Beautiful. Seems like they had it, maybe. Oh my goodness, we drew another Stoneforge Mystic. That is just absolutely beautiful. And it does seem like they boarded into a decent number of 2-drops against me. They've got Collective Brutality. We saw a Braid. They probably have Snapcaster Mage, although that isn't confirmed. It seems somewhat likely that they would. Now I'll get the Batterskull. Yeah, that's fine. If they play the Shadow here, I path it. Just very easy. They probably have a Stub. Yeah, but I was going to say, their cards have to be perfect because, like, they play it, I path it. If they Stub, then I can Feast and Famine, equip Attack, and kill them. So they need, like, of the 3 cards they had in hand, it had to be exactly the shadow they picked up, a stub, and a kill spell for the Spell Queller, which isn't all that likely in my opinion. Still, we haven't seen very many blue cards. I actually think Queller was really good there, but I do think there's a chance that Quellers should just be Shark Typhoons. Shark Typhoon just giving me a little card advantage can be like what you need to get through this matchup. You can also make a giant thing late game, which is kind of nice. I think I'm going to switch it up. I think that's reasonable. I could also have Quellers instead of Cryptics. Cryptics, like, kind of bad when they have Stub, and they probably have Mystical Dispute too, things like that. But I think it's fine. I've already mulliganed to 6. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not, like, amazing, but I do have a decent amount of Sift. I'll be able to find some stuff. They're already on 5. So I'm essentially, these ops are just looking for white removal spells, because the only way I can see them winning when they're on 5, starting on 2 baubles, is if they have, like, early Gurmag plus Shadow with some stubs. So all I'm really looking to do here... Oh, they don't even get to start on Blackman. That's really awkward for them. All I'm really looking to do here is just find ways to kill their threats, honestly. I do think I lead on Hallowed Fountain. Just because I am going to want to opt. I'm not going to do it on my turn because they might just be holding up a random stub. Which they probably are, but... You know, like if they stub the opt on this turn, that's fine. That doesn't really matter. Doesn't seem like they have a threat yet, though. I guess they couldn't have played Shadow this turn if they had it. Don't want land. Alright, perfect. That was exactly what I said I didn't want. I think I'm just going to play this Hallowed Fountain tapped, then I get untapped lands for the rest of the game, and all I'm doing this turn is opting anyway. So I think that's fine. It seems like they have shadows in their hand. That's what it feels like. But that's alright. Okay, so there are some number of shadows, it seems. Thought sees me. I think they'll take the opt. Honestly, that's okay. If they take the opt, because next time I get to cycle Shark Typhoon, make a 1-1 and still keep looking for stuff. If they don't take the opt and they take one of these two instead, which look better than taking... Okay, they did take the opt. I was going to say, it looks better than taking the opt in this hand. Then I get to opt and look for a path or whatever. But given where my hand's at, still a little nervous, but I get to cycle Shark Typhoon, make a 1-1, jam a Jace. They're pretty low on cards. Like, they need to be able to match up. Okay, so they definitely have a stub the way they've played. But this is okay. Alright, I'm going to get a snow-covered Plains and make a 1-1 end of turn. Or not Plains, Island. That'll be fine. Then I have a blocker for Jace. It's unfortunate because I do just end up getting stubbed, but that's fine. Ugh, they have a Shadow too. Really annoying. They have 8 threats in their deck on a mold of 5. They found them, and I can't draw a single one of my 10 removal spells. Like, Skyclave Apparition would be amazing here. Nope, we got a land, though. So Cryptic, I guess, plays. This isn't good. But I think it's the play I have to make. I end up getting stubbed here, and if they have the Battle Rage, I die. But Battle Rage seems really loose here, honestly. Maybe they just let this tap draw happen. I could see that. Tap all creatures your opponents control. I'm going to bounce the Gurmag. So the stub here is like brutal, certainly. But now I get to resolve a Jace. I'm not blocking here, which is kind of aggro. I'm doing it to save it for next turn, although that could really punish me. Maybe I am supposed to block Gurmag there, just because it saves the most life. And then Shadow's really unlikely to kill me. Yeah, I was supposed to block Gurmag there, I think. Oh my god, draw a spell, please. It's not that hard. Alright, I am dead to removal spell. I'm dead to Battle Rage. But the play they've made so far doesn't suggest removal spell. It does suggest Battle Rage pretty strongly, though. I think I'm about to get TBR'd. No? Okay. I get to keep playing. That's very good. I accept. So what do they have here? Like a K command, maybe? If I bounce the Shadow, they're just in really rough shape. Ooh, we drew a Path? That's phenomenal. I think I start the turn with a Path. If they stub, I end up bouncing here, I think. No, they didn't do anything. Interesting. Alright, then I'm going to Brainstorm. I'm going to put back the 2 fetches. I really don't want to fetch if I can avoid it. And now I'm going to Stoneforge Mystic. And get a Batter Skull. I just don't know what's in their hand. What could they possibly have? They've missed land drops. Oh my god. Thought Scour, sure. Alright, so they milled a Thought Scour and a Street Race. Sorry, we had a slight glasses malfunction there. Still, we haven't seen a Lightning Bolt in any of the games, and unless they have Bolt, they're in really rough shape. Brutality's a card. Brutality is a card. I'm really happy I put the fetches away. I am now dead to a decent amount of things, although they do get to play the Gurmag here. I'm dead to another Brutality, though. They didn't play the Gurmag, though, and I didn't die. Wild. Would love to find a counterspell. Mana Leak plays. It's not perfect, it plays. Alright, I'm going to put these 2 on top. Play a land. I'm going to cast a fairy. And plus this fine gentleman. And then pass. End step I can make a 2/2. The important thing here is I have Leak for K command or Brutality. They don't have a second Brutality in hand. I think it's pretty clear. Alright. So I think they drew K command for turn. It looks like they're going to play Gurmag afterwards. No, Shadow. That's fine. So their hand is just Gurmag Angler then. Yoink that. Let's draw 3 cards again. Okay. So they probably have like 2 more burn spells in their 39 card deck. That's probably it. I'm going to play Batterskull. If they draw a burn spell this turn, they get me. Otherwise, they're dead on my untap. And that's where we're at. I couldn't find a counter spell. If they draw a Brutality or K command, it's a good draw for them. Okay. Thoughtseize doesn't do it. I should be fine now. Because their hand, I think, is... I'm pretty sure I bounced a Gurmag Angler. I think. Maybe I bounced a Shadow and they have another card I don't know about. No. Okay. Woo! Got there, just barely. Alright. Opponent's mulligan to 6. I think this hand's a keep. It's not spectacular. But it's a fine hand, and I've got some smoothing. I've got anti-spells, anti-creature. Kind of have everything. Yeah. I think it's good. I will note... oh, I played Tron. Well, I'm glad I kept the hand with the Field of Ruin at least. That's probably going to be crucial. I would like to draw like a Stoneforge Mystic or something good to cast on 2. But I have the cards you want in this matchup, which are Field of Ruin and Force Negation. Plains is fine. Definitely wanted a land, but I'll take a Plains. Oh, them playing a Forest here is great, too. Means they're short on Tron. It means this field is going to be even better. Yeah, Island is fine. Take an Island. Alright, would have bottomed an Island if I knew the next spell was also Island, but it's fine. Again, everything's fine. I'm not going to cast anything this turn. What's the land they got? Power Plant. So if they play the Power Plant here, the Power Plant's the one I want to hit. I definitely don't want to hit the Mine if I can avoid it. Alright, second Path to Exile's pretty bad. I was gonna say I kind of want to just do this now, but also might as well do it in their draw step in case they draw a basic. It does let them crack their sphere for free, but it's already free, and plus mana here isn't huge. So I do get Plains here, which is a little awkward. There's almost no world I don't just jam Jace next turn and then hope that... Okay, Oblivion Stone isn't amazing for me, but if they spend their turn cracking it, that's fine. Ooh, I could also Teferi bounce it. I think slamming Jace is just going to be a lot better, though. My hand's, like, pretty bad, and I kind of want their turn to have to be to use Oblivion Stone. Oh, yeah, that was really good for me. That was very good for me. If they have Tron here, this turn could go poorly. Most of the things I'm scared of, though, I can Force of Negation, so that is good. Ulamog's the big deal, but Ulamog is pretty beatable with this deck. But just Ulamog this turn would be bad. They're kind of in a spot now where they have to decide if they want to blow up Jace now or let me get another Brainstorm, and Either way, it's like not amazing for them. It looks like they're going to let me get another Brainstorm just to try to get a clear board when they untap, but that still seems kind of bad to me. Well, this isn't great. I guess I'll put these two back. Play a land. I'm not going to play Stoneforge here because obviously it just gets blown up by Batterskull. My next turn, probably, like end of turn, I just snap Opt. I have to discard? That's fine. I'm not going to need another path. Looks like they might just cast a Wormcoil Engine. That's fine. So I will snap Opt here. Gonna bottom that. It's awkward I'm drawing a Batterskull, but it's fine. Even worse that I just immediately drew the Feast and Famine. That's not great. So let's see. I guess given that I drew Feast and Famine and I have a creature in play, the best thing here is to just hit that. Play and equip Feast and Famine, start attacking their hand. Discarded their fourth Urza's Mine. Okay. Alright, well, they're just done. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we're up a game against Tron, going post board. I don't really have that much in my sideboard for it. It's not a deck I accounted for very hard. I guess Ashiok is fine, and so is Force. I definitely want to trim like 2 paths. After that... No, Path is just going to be the worst thing. I'm going to get rid of it. Does Deicide do anything? No. Skyclave, like, I could imagine a world where it's okay, but it's mostly bad. I think I do like 1 path just because of Ulamog. Gust because they generally have Veil of Summer makes some sense, because it's just a good way to deal with the Veil, but I don't think it's right. I do like Spell Snare. It hits Scrying. Snaring and early Scrying can be very strong. And here we go. Prime example of why it could be good. This hand's awkward, but opponent's already on 5. I didn't even realize they mulligan when I kept. On 4 now. So hopefully they... On 3. Jesus, okay. They're just done. All right. We are qualified, I guess. So Tron does have just a complete fail rate some percentage of the games. So that is that. And when an opponent gets that low, they get so beat by Feast and Famine. Well, we're qualified now. I'm going to do a quick wrap-up. So during the event, I added a second Glacial Fortress over the third Prismatic Vista. And honestly, the more I've played it, the more it feels like the Prismatic Vistas are kind of unnecessary. I still think 2 is okay. But I like Hengegate Pathway and Glacial Fortress. Honestly, I could see 4 Hengegates. Choke is a card. I didn't play against in this thing, but it is a card people are starting to run again in Modern. Specifically out of Heliod, I've seen it, and it's pretty annoying. And our mana base can do all the things. Like, we can have enough basics to play around Blood Moon, but have enough non-basic blue and white duels that we don't get choked out too, or boiled out. And those are considerations blue decks really need to make, because those cards can be really problematic. And I think Prismatic Vista does a lot of what Field of Ruin is doing. So I think if I keep a high basic land count, I could easily get onto like a 4 Hengegate Pathway build. Maybe I just don't even need Glacial Fortress. Maybe I just have 4 Hengegate Pathway. That's certainly something I want to look at. You saw a lot of games against Burn, and in a lot of those games, I was, either losing to the last spell in their hand or winning the game at 1 life. So saying like the 1 life from Prismatic Vista is free is just not true. Like, I won a bunch of games at 1 life where in one of those games I remember shuffling away 2 fetch lands because I couldn't crack them. I I think you should have some, like, I think that the mana base 100% has 4 flooded strands and some basics, just because Blood Moon exists, and you do need some amount of that, but I think limiting it is pretty powerful, and the fact that we're a 2-color deck and we get to do that seems strong to me. Outside of that, everything felt pretty good. I don't know if the Shark Typhoons are necessary. They might be bad. I could see another Mana Leak, another Queller maybe. That might be better than the 2 Typhoons. I think that's interesting. Sort of Fire and Ice, I never really felt like I wanted in game 1 for the most part, so I think I'm pretty happy with it in the board. I did feel like I maybe wanted another counterspell in the sideboard. I could see either moving this Force Nation back or playing another Mana Leak main so that I have another counterspell. Something like that. All of that would make some sense to me. You get behind all of it. But yeah, I think for the most part, I am pretty happy with this list. I'm going to keep tuning it. You're going to see a bunch more videos coming from the channel in the next week. I'm going to be preparing for the actual event. It's going to be a really fun time. You'll be able to check me out. The last couple, I've managed to make it onto stream for the camera. I guess feature match. So hopefully you'll be able to see me again there. We'll see what happens. But until then, remember, please like the video. It really helps me keep making these. Please subscribe to the channel. All of that really helps. And if you want to leave comments and ask questions, I am pretty active there. I do generally answer them. So I would appreciate it if you would do that. And with that, I'll talk to you next time.
I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian DeMars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Ari Lax.